Okay, Shalom Akim, Kal Halalim La Yahaba Shem Yashab Hashem Kudash, and double on Instagrams and apostles. Fowday How Fowday Hashah for the strength in order to make this video, and Yara Tazar, they also edified man, which means to build up. They are built up from this video. So of course, as I named the video, the thinning will bring in the pristine earth. Something along those lines. The thinning will bring in the pristine earth, man, because we know right now, Esau, Edom, of course, with his rulership, people think that, obviously in certain, European countries, they do a decent thing with maintain the place being clean. But in an overall sense, Esau, Edom is doing a very bad job of really maintaining keeping the health of the earth, man. There ain't no more land Sabbaths that's being implemented right now. So of course the earth ain't really having a break from constantly producing. Even just your own body as well, man. Hence why going on a fast, this is just me, just talking as a warm-up before I then bring out some presets, man, so that you can get the context of the video. Get some more supplementary understanding, I guess. So, Esau Edom ain't even allowing the land Sabbaths he's not following the laws really. So of course he's gonna go against the land Sabbaths, always constantly trying to produce and not having any rest. A result of that is really something breaking down or getting weary, getting weaker. Even the machine of which you just keep running it, like a computer or a laptop, all the battery's gonna be drained, man. It needs time to rest and recharge, and that's just for a darn machine. Even the human body, which Yahweh Shem Yashah designed, that also goes into there's a requirement for us to also take a break from eating food too, fasting. Even also, I think this is in either Leviticus 23 or 27 or 25, either one of those chapters, where it talks about us having the Day of Atonement, man, where we have to afflict our souls. By afflicting our souls, this is really done by physically fasting. And this fasting as well, that goes into spiritual benefit, which is of course us humbling our spirit in front of Yahweh Shem Yashah. Hence why when we pray as we fast, it's like our prayers are also more in a more potent state. So really that just goes for that fact. Even our bodies need, and that's the spiritual aspect. In the physical aspect of things, our body having rest from constantly digesting food is also a good thing, because after you give your body, a day or 2 or 3 days, which certain people can do it for more. There's people out there who can do it like 4 days, 5 days. I'm talking about a dry fast day, 4 days, 5 days. I've only done like maximum 4 days, man. But really, just to get to the point, fasting is where your body takes a break from digesting food. And when your body takes a break from digesting food and it completes that process, then it has the ability to heal other parts of the body, man, that it needs to heal. It could be the eyes. Fasting helped me to improve my eyesight as well. It's one of those ongoing things, because you eat food, sometimes you eat sugars, you're still in the flesh, you want to get a snack here and there. You exercise to balance that as well as fasting as well, because that's the balancing effect. Even though you eat sugar, you gotta have something else to also balance that as well, such as fasting or exercise as well, so they can burn it off. So, anyways, the point is, things need a break, man. And Esau doesn't adhere, if that's even the right word to use. But Esau doesn't obey the commands of Yahweh Shem Yashah. Hence why he's seen as a foolish one, man, because he thinks he's wise in his own eyes, in his own wickedness. But of course, pride comes before destruction. So really, I said the main point of the video is the thinning will bring in the pristine state, because right now the earth is not in a pristine state. The earth right now is in a corrupted state. It's in a weak state. Hence why I was talking about fasting, and I was talking about a machine needing rest, and then I also mentioned the land Sabbaths as well, which is where you just give earth time to flip and rest, man. Instead of always constantly producing, which is Esau's way of just extracting resources without having the actual source to heal, which is the earth itself, man, when it comes to producing all these fruits and whatnot. Fruits, vegetables, and herbs, and things that are useful for our bodies as well. That's why even the potency of the fruits have weakened in time as well. Fruits have gotten smaller. The seeds that are within fruits There's only genetically modified fruits that are being eaten right now as well, man. Even those of us who Yahba Shim Yashai blessed with a good memory, or even those brothers who can recall, anyways. In the past, something simple like plantain. Benjamin may say plantain. Whichever way, but I call it plantain. It used to have seeds in them, man. When you cut the plantain, you see it in the middle. The seeds were relatively bigger than it was right now. I think there's still seeds in them right now. If I recall, I haven't eaten plantain in some time, but there's still seeds in it. But the point is, the stuff's getting weaker, man. This is all under Esau's rulership. So he's like a virus of which needs to be taken out. Now, first of all, let me get this, because the thinning is also not just for Esau, but it also starts with Jake. That's the point. It starts with Israelites, man. Maybe even try to get that quickly as well. I didn't really have that one lined up. But, the one that it mentions about hold on. Judgment starts at the house of the Most High. But before I get that, let me read Zechariah 13 and 8, because as I said, it starts with Israel, man. It starts with Israel, man. So let me just get this. Editors I can find it. Alright, cool. I found that one. But let me get Zechariah 13 and 8. Then I'm gonna read 1 Peter 4 and verse 17. Zechariah 13 and verse 8. Hold on. Alright, go ahead. So this is Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." So of course, that's talking about in America, 2/3 of Israelites are going to be given away to the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When I say judgment, the finale is going to be the nuclear missiles mentioned in Joel 2, man. The ones that are running as an army, which is a metaphor for those nuclear missiles when they're gonna, be sent from these other nations such as Russia, China, India, and all these other nations of whom are regarded as the weak in Joel 3. If we would send missiles with the warheads, and then those warheads would then be used would then be scattered once the shell of the tip of the missile is then opened. Then the warheads are going to scatter around in different areas of Babylon, man, to really add to the fuel, add fuel to the fire, supposedly speaking. So Zechariah 13 and 8, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off." That's 2/3 of Israel, aka 66, I think 0.6%. You got the sixes right there, which those 2/3 of Israelites, if you link it scripturally as well, they're going to be the ones of whom have taken the MOTB too. So they got to be cleared out, man. They got to be cleared out. And it says, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. So of course the third part, they're going to be they're going to get that salvation, man. Now let me get verse 9. "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried." So they're going to have to go through certain afflictions, certain suffering, certain tests of faith in order to really strengthen them to have their confidence in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because ultimately, as we have our confidence in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's going to increase day by day as Yahushua's coming also arrives closer, gets closer. It says, "They shall call on my name." That's also another video that I need to create as well. Because Elder Bishop Zakwaran, he did mention something quite key in the Tuesday sit down. Because today it's the 5th of February right now. For yesterday's sit down, which was 4th of February, he mentioned something. He said, "How can you glorify a name?" I'm roughly phrasing what he said. How can you glorify a name that you don't know? Because this is going into, the other Israelite groups of whom don't use the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. Multiple times. Anyways, as I said, that's another topic, man. So I want to focus on this one here. So Yara Tazar, I'm gonna do a video on that too. So it says in Zechariah 13:9, and I will bring the third part through the fire. Yeah, quite literally as well, because they're gonna go through the chariots of salvation, man. I'm gonna get that as well in Wisdom of Solomon 5. It says, I will refine them as silver is refined. To refine someone, to refine silver, it's got to go through heat. That heat is a metaphor, a representative of the adversity that Israelites must go through. And not all Israel, but really the elect of Yahweh Shem Ashai. And that consists of the 1/3, Zechariah 13:9, as we're reading right now, and Revelation 14, verse 1 to 2, which is about the 144,000. That's the ruling, the governing body now of all of Israel. So it says they refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they will say, the Lord Yahweh is my power. So that's where rightfully so, Yahweh Bashim Yashai will get the praise and worship and the fear that he ought to have from Israel, man. So we're going to get a few more precepts as well, of course, based upon Israel too. But I said I was going to get 1 Peter 4:17. So this is 1 Peter 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall, as Israelites, what shall the end of them be, end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So the 2/3, the two parts therein, that's mentioned in Zechariah 13:8, that's the one where they're referring to as in 1 Peter 4:17, where it says, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So those who don't obey, they're going to have the latter end of destruction mentioned in Joel 2, where they got the nuclear missiles sent out to them. So let me get this. That's all part of the thinning, man. There's even a YouTube movie, man. There's a YouTube movie called The Thinning, which it involved. Obviously, it was, it's a movie in it, so they can create whatever type of story they want to create. It involved people taking an exam, to prove some kind of an IQ. It was like some kind of an IQ test to prove whether they're worthy to stay alive or not. And if the teenagers got because it was teenagers that were acting there. If the teenagers got less than a certain grade, then they were exterminated. They had to be killed. So that was a severe thing, because I think that was a movie based on overpopulation as well. So which really that's a myth in itself. Esau just saying Esau ain't he's not worthy to rule, man. That's the point, because there are ways to allocate resources and distribute people around the earth, man. There's even a saying I think Elon Musk was talking about, was defending, because obviously these guys are actors as well, anyways, because what they say in the media doesn't always reflect the inward thought of them. I'm talking about these Edomites here, but Elon Musk once said in a podcast or somewhere, in a video where, if they were to combine, a certain amount of people, into New York. But the point really is that the not to get too off topic, I will get back to it. But the point is, if you put like a large proportion of the world population, they'll be able to fit in to just New York alone. Not New York alone, but rather America alone, man. So it's really just the allocation of people and the resources of it as well. When it comes to this overpopulation problem, it's just allocation of resources, and there's still land out there in order to inhabit. But anyways, as I said, Esau's not the good ruler, man. In the kingdom, you're gonna see how how Israelites gonna rule. Then you're gonna realize, yeah, Esau's a dumbo, a stupid ruler, one who lacked wisdom. And remember, the wisdom comes from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which we get through these scriptures. Now, I read 1 Peter 4:17 about judgment starts at the Most High. So yeah, the thinning is gonna start with Israel. That's what it's gonna start with. And it's not just that as well. It's gonna start. It's gonna start with Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 13:7, and within Jacob's trouble there will be famines, pestilences, and the sword, which we're gonna get to. But first, let's get Ezekiel 5. It should be Ezekiel 5 and verse 17 or verse 12. All right, so. Right. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting time, man. When even just from the heathens' perspective, the ones that are scattered across the world, not in Babylon, when they witness Yahushua comes, then they got to transition from the rulership of Esau to Yahushua. Some of them will call him alien or something, but really, the point is the reality is gonna be flipped in their heads, man. You gotta see it from their perspective as well. It's gonna be flipped for these heathens, and they're not gonna have a choice. It's either you serve or you die, and we're gonna get that as well, man. Even for Israelites as well, man. Those who don't want to worship Yahushua, bring them to Yahushua, and we're gonna slay them. It's going to be a yapper time, man. You got to be able to visualize, yourself. As Apostle Bar was also talking about, being able to visualize these scriptures, man. That video was powerful, man. Yaratazar. I'm a link, because he did mention about visualization again, being able to envision these things. The scriptures and the prophecies, Yahushua coming back as well. Because it's actually a key part of spiritual power as well, being able to visualize yourself in that time, man. Getting spiritual power from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, ruling over the nations. Of course, the scripture in Luke 19 and 27 where it mentions about bringing those who don't want to worship Yahushua and then slay them before him. You got to visualize yourself doing that, man. Yara to start that we are those men of whom are the elect of Yahushua, the servants of Yahushua. You got to be able to envision it. Because if you're able to envision it, because the fact that you even got the opportunity to learn this truth is also a good indicator that Yahushua, that you are one of those men. We just have a quiet confidence about it. Yeah, again, as we always say, Yahushua. That's why we remain humble. Because, most sides will be done, yet we want to maintain a godly confidence, a righteous confidence. All right, what did I say I was going to get, man? Sometimes you be going from point to point. You don't forget the flipping the preset you're going to get. Anyways, Ezekiel 5, man. Okay, so Ezekiel 5 verse 12. Should be around verse 12. Right, so this is based upon Israel, really. So Ezekiel 5 and 12. A third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and the third part shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I'll scatter a third part into all the winds, and I'll draw out a sword after them. So let me break it down. So this is Ezekiel 5 and 17, 5 and 12. Ezekiel 5 and verse 12. A third part of these, so a third part of Israelites, which is really can be considered amongst the 2/3 of wicked Israelites. It says, a third part of these shall die with the pestilence, diseases. You had a taste of that with CV-19, which really, that thing wasn't even the thing that was defeating Jib. It was the juice. That was just fear-mongering to get people to take the juice, into the components within the juice, which I won't mention. If you want to know, just search up VA and then, scene and then effects, but not on YouTube. Search up on BitTube, search up on Odyssey, then you're gonna see them documentaries, man. People have uploaded videos 2-3 years ago. It was 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago. It was like 2020, 2021, 2022. Those are the core years of the demic. I'm gonna call it demic. So, because YouTube, man, you gotta be wise with your words here. You got AI transcriptors, which basically every word you say, they're able to pinpoint what words you say in the certain sentence to create either subtitles or just transcriptions, which is just words. Basically, pinpoint your words in the video, essentially. All right, so Ezekiel 5 and 12, a third part of these shall die of pestilence, again, disease, and there's more to come. There's more to come. You know, there was one mention of, what's it called? I probably need to make a video on that as well, man. SARS-CoV-2? Was it SARS-CoV-2? But, yeah, but there's something, I think there's a channel called Redacted as well. They spoke on it, on another mixtape that Esau's gonna release. And that mixtape is reference to another V that's going to be released that people are going, that's going to be used to to create fear as well. And this one they say would involve cognitive breakdown or something like that, brain degeneration, you know, which that can be an effect of the juice, man, that was taken 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, you know, 2020, 2021, 2022. So all of this is coming, man. Diseases are coming. So when they start to release, okay, people are dying here, there. You got another one called Neuro V as well. Whenever I say V, you should know what I'm talking about. You know, there's when I say juice, you know what I'm talking about. When I say V, I'm talking about the actual thing that's used for the fear mongering, the name of it. So there's one called Neuro V. There's another one called the human metapneumo something. Human meta mnemonic V. I almost said it there. But yeah, those are things that are just warming up for the pestilences to come. You know, all you gotta do is search up in the news. People are getting affected by these. It says, and with famine, you know, people had the fear of that as well. I remember going into Sainsbury's, the whole pastry section was just cleared. I was like, whoa. What's going on here, man? What's going on here? So, of course, you know, people lining up in the morning just to get shopping, to get tissue as well. So famine, man, that goes into food. It says, shall be consumed in the midst of thee, and a third part shall fall by the sword around about thee. You know, Esau's gun, Esau's weaponry. It says, and I will scatter a third part into the wind, or to all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them, man. So people are going to be killed in all sorts of places, man. They may try and run, but, you know, they're going to be killed at the end of the day. In fact, let me even get that in the NLT. Ezekiel 5 verse 12. All right, so Ezekiel 5 and 12. NLT. NLT stands for New Living Translation for any new brothers out here as well, or sisters that do listen occasionally. So Ezekiel 5 and 12. It says in the NLT, New Living Translation, a third of your people will die in the city from disease and famine. A third of them will be slaughtered by the enemy outside the city walls, and I will scatter a third to the winds, chasing them with my sword. And who's the sword? Let's answer that as well, man. Who is the sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Who's the sword of Yahweh, man? Who does the Most High use as a sword? Because they're also known as a curse as well unto us. You know, this sword that's flipping, chasing us for time. The sword that Jake can't run away from, man. The only way to really be defended from that sword is to worship Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because he is our defense, as it says in Psalms 115 verse 9. You know, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is our shield and our defense, man. All right, where is it? Not Psalms 115 verse 5. It was another one. Psalm 17. Okay, cool. Right. Psalm 17. Just gotta hold on. I'm gonna get Psalm 17. All right, so Psalms, hold on, 15, 16, 17. Hold on. Wasn't it Psalm 17? 15, 16, 17. 17 verse 10. What was it? Hold on. So you know down certain precepts here, but sometimes mistakes can happen as well, where you miss a number or you miss a certain verse. But basically, it's about the wicked being the sword of Yahweh. Let me search it up here just to clarify. So we read Ezekiel 5 and verse 12. I mentioned about Esau being the sword. I mean, it mentioned about Yahweh using the sword of his sword to slay Jake, man. A third of Jake being taken up by the sword. Alright, let me search it out. Oh, damn. I didn't look properly then. Because I wrote down Psalm 17 and 3. But it was actually Psalm 17 and 13. So it's just 10 more verses after. So this is Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So of course the Most High has used Edomites, to be his sword, man, to slay Jake. They also used as a judgment, as a curse upon Jake as well, man. The enemy shall be you go flee 7 ways from your enemies, man. Deuteronomy 28 mentions that from verse 15 onwards. One of those verses there, as well as us being the tail and then the heathens being the head as well. That's part of the curses as well. Esau Edom wielding the sword and having power over us. That's part of the curses too. So we gotta admit, with all of this happening, Esau's gonna be used as part of the thinning that's gonna be applied to Israelites, man, during Jacob's trouble. They're going to be thinned out with the sword. They're going to be thinned out with pestilence. They're going to be thinned out with famine as well, man. So Israel's got a lot to flipping anticipate for this time, and most people are oblivious. Most of them are oblivious. Now, speaking of obliviousness, I was going to get Hosea 4 and 6, but let me get Hosea 5 and 6. You know what? Actually, it's the same chapter, really, Hosea. So Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, the knowledge of the scriptures, because if they had the knowledge of the scriptures, they would move in a much wiser way than they are right now. And even knowledge of the scriptures as well would have helped them to know certain things, because we know there's certain things we also go into externally, like health benefits. We do your research on certain vitamins and nutrients, or which we need for our bodies as well. But that's foundationally brought from the scriptures, man. Certain precepts which talk about basically about in Ecclesiasticus. I know there's a lot of them there. On the health of the body, cheerfulness of the heart brought by sufficient eating. I'm really just very, very, very roughly paraphrasing those precepts there. But Yaros I normally mention them in my fasting and health-based videos. But yeah, the point is my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast, and that knowledge again is foundationally from the scriptures. That's the one we need. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. So of course, Most I ain't gonna be looking after the Jake families, man. Because of the fact that they've rejected the knowledge of the Most High, which means they don't fear Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, man. And the knowledge is for their benefit as well. Imagine that. Imagine rejecting something that's for your own benefit, man. Imagine, you're given the tools, to go back to Yahweh Shem Yahshai in a merciful state. We've been given fasting, we've been given prayer, we've been given the power of faith as well. Stability of belief, because it all starts with the mind, as Apostle Gabar loves to speak on, which is Yapa, honestly, on the power of visualization, man. When you pray, you gotta believe it before it even happens, man. That Yahweh Shem Yahshai will provide you that strength. Will provide you that wisdom. Considering the righteous intentions of the prayer as well. So that's through the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. All right. I feel I read Psalm 17 and 13, man, based upon the wicked being destroyed. And they're going to be used to thin out Jake, man. When you get rid of all those flipping demons that have been wielding Israelites over there in America, as well as, certain parts of the world, but really the focus is on America, then that's like a virus flipping spread out, man, because the Jake in the world, especially in America, they're like heathens as well, man. That's the thing. You liken them onto heathens because they behave like them. They want to be like them as well. From the Israelite man, to Eve, man, as well. And then there's different examples of how we can perceive that as well. I'm trying to think of a specific example too. Which, to be honest, though, certain of them are also tares as well. Some of them are tares. The parable of the wheats and the tares. If you search that up, either in Matthew or in Luke, you probably find it there. The parable of the tares, man. Where it's like, you got the wicked, you spread their seed, and over time, you would think that just by face value that you're looking at an Israelite, but if you actually read the spirit, they're actually an Edomite by bloodline, many years ago, or down the line on their father's side. That's why they act the way they act. But yeah, nevertheless, even just Jake alone as well, man, they take up the customs of the heathen, eating detestable meats, prawns, pork, crab, lobster. The typical so-called delicacies that Israel's been, what's the right word, delusioned to accept as delicacies. It's all an illusion over their eyes at the end of the day. All of that, that makes them heathens as well, man. Because really the laws were there to separate us from the heathens too. But those weren't followed, hence why when they we're undergoing those curses. But through the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, those are getting lifted off. And then Esau, Edom, he's the one who's going to start suffering them. Certain Edomites be getting tasters of those curses as well, man. If you go on TikTok and whatnot, to videos or YouTube shorts or some Instagram reels, wherever, or even Twitter, you see them judgments, man. All right, so Hosea 5 and 15, that's the one I need to get next, because I just read Hosea 4 and verse 6, which is quite key, simply because of the fact that Israel lacks knowledge. So Hosea chapter 5 and verse 15. So this is the Most High Yahweh speaking. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. So, of course, in their affliction, when they're going through all that suffering, all that pain, as I mentioned in Ezekiel 5 and 12, about the famine, the pestilence, the sword, things of which Israelites going to be running at the end, they're like, oh, can't we get a break? No, you can't get a break, man. Because the time of grace of which you had before, you didn't leverage that opportunity to seek the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Hence why you can't take a break during Jacob's trouble, man. Now, on the other hand of the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Isaiah 65 and 13, where it says, my servant shall eat, ye shall be hungry, my servant shall drink, and ye shall be thirsty, man. We're the ones who are going to be looked after by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We'll have to suffer, of course, for a certain time, during that time of Jacob's trouble, but we will be looked after. We're not going to die from famine. We're not going to die from thirst, because he will provide us food in that time. And the same way I said that, you got to have that level of faith in the time to come, Yaratazah. And you have to pray it, man. And the way to develop faith as well is, again, meditating upon the precepts, studying them, and not just studying them as well. The point in meditating upon the precepts is really to just think about them, man. And not just think about them, is also visualize yourself in the scenario of applying those precepts too. That's part of the power of visualization too, man. Yaratazah, as I said, man, I got to link that visualization video. It was a few weeks back, or like a month ago or something, that Apostle Kabar did it, but I'm going to link it to this video, for any of y'all who wanna listen to that visualization video. Because that's really how you build up faith as well, through visualizing the precepts, the scriptures that you read. That helps you to vividly see yourself in that position of applying those scriptures, man, in the time of need especially. So, Hosea 5:15, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early, man. They will seek me early. Right, so let me get another precept, man. I was talking about that's really Jake going through the thinning, as I named it, the thinning to bring in the pristine earth. And it's not just Israelites that's been, thinned out here, using Esau as a sword to thin them out, famine, pestilence. It's also Esau Edom, the main virus of the earth. He needs to get removed from his rulership position. And let me get Amos 9 and 2, which is a scripture that can be referred to Esau Edom as well as Israelites too. But first, I'm going to focus on the application on Esau Edom. That's Amos 9 and 2. So literally, as famine comes, pestilence comes, the sword of Esau Edom comes as well. Again, it's called Jacob's trouble for a reason. A time of great tribulation, man. So this is Amos 5:19. Let me read from verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you the day of the Lord Yahweh is darkness and not light? And that day, because it says Lord in capitals, which really represents Yahweh. But that day is when Yahweh comes as well. Where it says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. So of course that's talking about a time where, as I mentioned, all sorts of afflictions, left, right, center, are going to be happening, man. Person looks left, they see famine. Person looks right, they see they see pestilence. They look forward, they see Esau Edom with his sword, man. That's going to be a time that no, that's why we got to pray for the protection of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because in that time, we're going to need it. We will need him. Man, just visualize it, man. Brothers just, being as a pilgrim upon the earth. So certain brothers in prison. Certain brothers just getting ready to get their heads chopped off. Certain brothers about to get spiritual power to save other brothers as well. It's all sorts of things to happen, man. Anyways, I think I mentioned before. No, hold on. Before I get there. Because I mentioned about Esau, innit? So Amos 9 and verse 2. I'll read from verse 1. I saw the Lord Yahweh standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. And really applying this to the case of Esau Edom, the heads of the Edomites, they'll be in their flipping bunkers, man. Let the mountains hide us, as the scripture saying in Revelations. So of course, though they go into their bunkers, they're going to be flipping rooted out, and they're going to be whipped into servitude, man. That pride going to go off of them. Even if they still maintain that pride, you're still going to have to serve Israelites at the end of the day. Now that would be a hell for them. The same way right now it's a really hell for Israelites, under Esau Edom. Despite, again, curses being lifted up gradually because they're getting transferred to Esau Edom, they're still being felt today, man. Because it's not as if today we're getting whipped like we were, back in the transatlantic slave trade, as well as the, triangular slave trade, which I think really involves the Native American Indians and the Latin tribes being put into servitude, man. But yeah, it says here in verse 2, Amos 9 and 2, though they dig into hell, thus shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So dig into hell, underground bunkers, or the mountain bunkers. Though they go into heaven, space station or space hotels, man. Wherever they want to flip and build in the upper atmosphere of earth, man. They ain't going to flip and escape the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. As it says here in verse 8, Amos 1 and 8, behold, the eyes of the Lord the Most High are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, save the Lord Yahweh. That's it. So, of course, the point is that sinful kingdom, again, can be applied to Esau, Edom, man, where it says, which really Babylon is representative of that sinful kingdom. He will destroy it from off the face of the earth with those nuclear missiles that I mentioned in the beginning on Joel 2. So, all you got to do is just read Joel 2, man, and you know about that. All right, so that's really Esau, Edom. That he's gonna get cleared. He's gonna get cleared. Now let's get Isaiah chapter 47. Isaiah 47 and about verse 10. Alright, so Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. Thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. So, of course, Esau, of course, being a man of the earth and a man who understands only logic and reasoning by physical standards, he trusts in his own wickedness, man. He says, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. So, of course, he thinks no one's seeing him. He could be a sly fox. No one's watching him. He doesn't know that the beings of the unseen are constantly watching him, man. Sometimes the beings even reveal themselves unto him in the form of chariots, really, which can be hovering over certain buildings, man, where Esau does his meeting, his councils. So it says that he hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. And that goes into Isaiah 14 as well, where it says Esau wants to be like the Most High. So if I'm gonna get that shortly. Hold on, let me get this. I want to get the root word meaning of perverted. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get a few more precepts and then I've got to close this out. So Isaiah 47 and verse 10, where it says perverted. Let's get the root word. Hold on. Let's get the root word.
Strong's H 7725. Shuv.
So shuv or shuv, however you say it. Let me listen to it again.
Strong's H 7725. Shuv.
Yeah, it says it's spelled as S-U-B, but it's pronounced as shuv. So anyways, the meaning, as it says here, of perverted, it says to return, to turn back, return. Yeah, so yeah, that's really what it meant. It says of dying. So it means to return or to turn back. So where it says have perverted, so it's turned him back. It says the wisdom and thy knowledge has turned him back, man. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me. So of course, when someone turns back from the path they're supposed to be going, which really at the end of the day, the Most High has given the nature of Esau Edom to be the wicked. So it's not as if he's turned back from his original path, man. But in terms of the perspective of the right path, yes, he has turned back. Because he ain't supposed to be taking that path anyways, but naturally, because of his nature, that's what he does. So verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from hence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So yeah, suddenly that desolation, which means, again, destruction, that great destruction will come upon him suddenly, man. When they say peace and safely, then a sudden destruction will come upon him. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 11. So that's the case right there. I said I wanted to get Isaiah 14 and verse 14 quickly, because that's Esau's mindset. He wants to he has a God complex, and really he's not worthy of it either. The elect of Yahweh Shemeshah, they're the ones who ought to have a God complex, because as Psalms 96 and verse 5 says, Was it Psalms 82 and verse 3? Either one of those. It says, I have said ye are gods, and ye shall die as men, or ye shall fall like one of the princes. Before it says ye are powers, man, under Yahweh Hashem Yashai, of course. So they're the ones who are really supposed to have a God complex, which of course involves a righteous and godly confidence, but yet we are humble because that's what I mentioned, under Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Because they're the ones who provide us the source of power. So Isaiah 14 and verse 14. Hold on. Isaiah 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. So where it says in Isaiah 47, verse 10, where it says, thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. He wants to implement that God complex, man. He wants to make it a reality where he is a power over these heathens and Israelites as well. Hence his agenda, his plan, his intention to implement the MOTB, man, that implant. It's that bio implant. All right, so that was Isaiah. Let me get Obadiah and then I'm gonna close it out, man. So I'm going for quite a bit here. All right, so Obadiah 1. Let me get quickly. Obadiah chapter 1. So Obadiah 1 and verse 18, which is really the end of Esau. Yeah, man. The end of his kingdom. And he's going to realize he ain't got no choice but to accept it. Now it says as Obadiah 1 and 17, but upon Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. Done. That's it, man. So that's Esau's latter end. Because as I mentioned before, the thinning is reference to Israelites getting thinned out, basically all these other means, famine, pestilence, the sword of Esau, Edom, to kill them off, 2/3 specifically, Zechariah 13 and 8, as I brought out in the beginning. And then the thinning also refers to Esau, Edom getting cleaned out as well, the virus of the earth. He needs to get cleared out. And of course, you're going to serve Israel, for, those 1,000 years, and then eventually it's going to be cleaned out, man, off the earth. There ain't going to be no such thing as an Edom. It will be a past thought. Be like, imagine the kingdom, Yaratazar. It will come to the point where, after 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years, I'll talk about 5,000 years after the Edomite nation is done away with. It would be like a story that we tell our children, man. Like there was a time where we actually slayed all these Edomites, man. And they'd be like, oh wow, how was that like? Just play them a little simulation. Because you go actually imagine the spiritual power. Remember, we'll be as power. We will be gods in those times. With a lowercase g. Again, under Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, we will be gods. We will be powers. Of whom we'll be able to do different things, man. The same way, you watch these movies like, you got Doctor Strange, you got X-Men, you got Superman, Justice League with their powers as well, the Flash, all these abilities, man. Especially the Marvel superhero comics, man. Fantastic Four, all these abilities, is what we'll possess. And then it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. So these are things of which we should meditate, put our minds to meditate on, the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. So despite the thinning happening, it's to create a pristine earth, man. In fact, one more precept before I close out. man. Because I know I had one. Romans 8 and 19, man. I was talking about spiritual power, innit? But that was to illustrate a time where we actually slay the Edomites to our children, man. Just imagine that, because we literally there will be a time where certain of us ain't gonna die, as Yahushua said, and there's certain of us that we ain't gonna die, and we're just gonna go from there to just getting into those new bodies. That's literally gonna be it. Right, let's get Romans 8 and 19 and I'll close out. Where in the world is Romans? So Romans 8 and so this is Romans 8 and 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature, creation, the earth, waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. Manifestation really goes into translating something from the mind into reality, man. In fact, let me even get the definition of that as well. Or even the blue letter, Romans 8 and 18. Because right now it may seem like a dream for, the sons of the Most High, which is really Israelites, to be put in power, first and foremost the elect. But after that, all it is just a vision in the mind first before it actually happens, man. The same way Yahushua knew what he had to go through before he went through and the reward he will receive prior to even receiving it. So that's part of what he manifested there. But that's because it was of the will of Yahweh, man. Anyways, Romans 8 and 19. The earnest expectation of the creature, man. Getting into this word, it's called manifestation of the sons of the Most High. Even NLT, let me read the NLT as well. So for all creation, so Romans 8 and 19, for all creation is waiting eagerly for the future day when the Most High Yahweh will reveal who his children really are. Plain and simple, man. And that's the Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. As I said, I was going to get something here. So manifestation, it says here.
Strong's G 602. Apocalypsis. Apocalypsis.
Apocalypsis. It sounds like apocalypse, man. Which apocalypse goes into word meaning of revelation, if I recall correctly. So apocalypsis, which means it says laying bare, making naked, a disclosure of truth, instruction concerning things before unknown, use of events which things or states or persons hitherto withdrawn from view are made visible to all. So read the revealing of something. It says the appearance. So the key part, it says concerning the disclosure of truth or instruction concerning things before the unknown. So of course, it's that knowing things before they happen, man. That's really what the word manifestation there really, again, as the NLT said, to reveal the sons who the sons of the Most High are. So that's what the creature is meditating on, man. The creation, all creating is meditating on the sons of the Most High to be revealed, to be manifested, to be brought into, to be known, man, to be visible. Because right now they're invisible, but they will be visible. Anyway, close it out there. So Shalom Akim, Yabashim Shabrakatha, and Yaratazah, they also edify from this video. Thought the share for the strength and all to make this video. And Yaratazah again, that you're encouraged, man, through this video too. Not just built up, but also encouraged to keep enduring, man. There'll be a time where you'll be looking back at, the times that you were here in Esau's kingdom. And you're going to be laughing about it at the end of the day, because you'll be in that peaceful state of rest that Yahushua will bring onto us. And that's part of our faith. That's what we know what will happen. Yaratazah, that we do make it to the chariots of salvation, man. So yeah, Shalom. Yahbashim Yashab Rakatha. Kahalan Imla Yahbashim Yashab Bashim Rakakudash once more. Double honest to the apostles. So yeah, Shalom.